Okay, folks, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode. So this week we're going to pick up right where we left off. Last episode we finished meeting with Saria in our secret place, the Sacred Forest Meadow. And so as we mentioned at the end of last video, we're now going to make our way out to Kakariko Village. Just as a quick note here, this isn't necessarily particularly relevant to anything, but just because it comes up now, I may as well mention it now. It just occurred to me the fact that when you start up your game, I do these videos in like bursts, so like I might record 3 or 4 videos back to back, and today is my first video of a new recording session, so I booted my system up again for the first time, and so it just reminded me that when you start up the game, if you are inside of a dungeon, then you will begin the game at the entrance of that dungeon. But if you're outside of a dungeon and you're literally anywhere else, when you start the game, you'll end up right back here at home. Now, it just happens to work out really well for me this time because that's where we ended the last video, was in our home, so it looks like nothing's happened, but I actually am just starting up the game again fresh. But anyway, so, oh yeah, and that's right, the last video I was talking about how we've got our records displayed here on the wall. Okay, one last thing we're going to do before we actually finally move on to Kakariko Village. I should have done this last video and I didn't. I forgot to because I took the quick way out of getting out of the Sacred Forest Meadow and out of the Lost Woods by intentionally taking a wrong path in the Lost Woods, thereby automatically warping me right back to the forest. But because of that, it warped me past something that completely slipped my mind. I did sort of cover this last video, only there wasn't anything that I could really do about it in the moment because we didn't know in the moment Saria's song. But now, you'll remember, we do have Saria's song. So, remember last video, this Skull Kid is up here, and if we approach him, he's just going to jump off and disappear, right? But what we can do is if we leave the area and come back again so that he'll reappear. So we'll just leave and then come back. What we can do now is if we stand up on this log here and face him, Z target him, and then pull out our ocarina and play our recently learned Saria song, this happens. You know Saria song? We should be friends. Here, take this. You get a piece of heart. You collected 3 pieces. Alright. So look at that. Oh, Navi wants something else here. Impa said that the spiritual stone of fire is somewhere on Death Mountain. Yes, I know, Navi. We're on our way. So that's kind of a nice little touch there. This Skull Kid that otherwise is too shy to talk to you will actually give you a gift just by extending to him a sign of friendship. This is also neat here too. This is totally not a thing you necessarily need to know, but over on this side, I've always jumped down from here on the other side because that's where you can climb up, but if you come over this way, you can actually jump up on top of where the the Kokiri store is. Nothing really to do while you're up here, but it's, you know, nice to have another vantage point of the forest. This is one of my favorite areas of the game, even if it is a pretty small and basic one. I just think it's pretty. I don't know, the aesthetic about it is very pleasing to me. Alright. So let's make our way to Kakariko Village. So we're going to have to exit the forest and cross the bridge again. And back out into Hyrule Field. So you'll recall that when it seemed as though Impa was kind of directing us at the time to go to Kakariko Village, and we had just been placed just on the outskirts of Hyrule Castle, just outside of the drawbridge, she had us facing east or northeast, and you can indeed even see right on the horizon there is the mountain with a great ring cloud around the summit. So that's where we're going to go now. Yeah, see, just here off a little bit to the left there is where the drawbridge is to Hyrule Castle, or at least to the market square before you get into the actual castle area. But this is where we want to go. There's a river here, and we can just use this little bridge to get over it. Obviously, we can swim across, but we won't be able to get ourselves out of that particular area. We'll have to like swim all the way downstream in order before we finally find a place on the other side where we can get out. So we pretty much, for the time being anyway, we pretty much have to take this bridge across. Now, sun is almost setting here, and so I'm actually just... I can enter Kakariko Village now if I want to. Unlike with, you know, Hyrule Castle and the town market, you can't get past that drawbridge unless it's day, and indeed, there it goes. It's rising up. I can go into Kakariko Village now if I want to. And in fact, I can even read this sign here. It's just up these steps. Kakariko Village, Death Mountain Trail, starting point. Right. But I like, just for the sake of the dramatic effect, I like it to be light out, just so you can kind of see a little bit better. And again, I think I've mentioned this before too, that the first time you ever enter an area, you get this kind of a brief little cinematic that makes it a little bit dramatic, just to introduce the area to the player. And so for the sake of this video series, I'd like to preserve that, just because I think it's nice. And again, it's not necessarily a bad idea to get a little bit more of combat experience against these stall children as they come out and challenge you. Again, they only ever appear out here in the field at night. But, yeah, just wasting some time here. Again, some of these trees, you can roll into them like that and knock free rupees and stuff like that. And we've already seen a couple of times. There's been a few instances where there's even been gold sculptulas that have appeared. So it's never a bad idea to roll into trees. Anyway, daybreak. Let's enter Kakariko Village. Sorry for wasting time there, folks. But I just wanted to preserve this moment here so you get it all in daylight as opposed to all in the dark and you can't even see anything. Alright, there we go. Kakariko Village. Nice, quaint little town. And we got a guard out front here. Ding dong, ding dong. I'm a clock soldier of Kakariko. The current time is 0700. Hello there, son. Zelda's attendant, the great Impa, opened this village to the common people. We have only a small population now, but someday this place will be as lively as Hyrule Castle Town. Oh yes, it will. Climb up the stairs at the north end of the village to find the trail that leads up Death Mountain. But you need the king's permission to actually go up the mountain. So you'll recall that's going to be the letter that Zelda ended up giving us. That's going to be our proof. Oh yeah, I forgot about this too. I never pointed this out, and for good reason. I'm not going to point it out to you, but I'm going to just make a mention of it. The Cuckoos in the game, and particularly this area, Kakariko Village in particular is notorious for this. So you can pick up and drop or throw the Cuckoos and whatnot. But the one thing you don't want to do is attack them. Because if you repeatedly attack them with your sword, and it actually doesn't take very much, all of the Cuckoos in the area will actually all gang up on you, and they will, as funny as it sounds to phrase this way, literally form an unstoppable force. There won't be anything that you can do about it, and they'll attack you and do damage to you, and will chase you until you leave the area. So, you know, except for the desire to experience a rather humorous display, I recommend you leave the Cuckoos to their own devices. Anyway, let's see here. I am the boss of the carpenters that Impa hired to improve this village and make it into a true city. But young men these days don't have any ambition. Do you know what I mean, kid? My workers are just running aimlessly around the village, and they're not making any progress at all. Even my own son doesn't have a job, and he just wanders around all day. They're all worthless, I tell you. I love that scream that he does. Here's a heart piece, not a heart piece, but a heart that I was looking for there. See if I can shake anything free here. Nope. Okay, let's see here. What can we do here? First, let's see how many people we can talk to that are out in the open, and then we'll look at walking into actual buildings and stuff like that. So this guy's running around here. Oh, come on, come on, come on, talk to me, talk to me. All day long we are working on many construction projects in the village. It's going to take a while before everything is done. Our boss works us very hard. He just said that you guys were lazy. What gives? Alright, so we can come around here and break a couple of pots. It's a mainstay of Zelda games, right? Breaking pots. You can actually walk on top of the roof of this one building here. And up here, it looks like Navi's pointing something out. There's a guy up on that roof there. I can't get down, so all I can do is look at Death Mountain. Wow. That's interesting. There's a huge ladder. The big lookout tower. We can climb all the way up to the top here. Ooh, and see the whole village down beneath us. Not exactly bustling like the town market was, but probably not a bad spot to live anyway. Okay, we can come around this way. There's another cuckoo there. And up here, I'm not going to talk to this guy just yet, but that's going to be the guard that we're ultimately going to want to talk to, because as this sign points out, this is the way to Death Mountain. No passage without a royal decree. So we're going to be the, he's going to be the guy we show Zelda's autograph to. Okay, well, while we're up here, we'll check out these shops, just so we don't have to come back just for that. Oh, well, it looks like there's nothing in here except this one guy. A job where you can make a lot of money without much effort. The only thing I can think of is thievery. Is that a bad idea? Being a little candid with your thinking on this. My little boy isn't here right now. I think he went to play in the graveyard. Oh, it's good parenting. Well, I guess it's better than helicopter parenting, but... Alright. Let's drop down here, and we'll see what's going on in here. Hey, lady. Oh, that's you got a goatee going on there, do you? Hi, boy. Is this the first time you visited this village? A great woman, Impa, opened up this village to us poor folk, and apparently circus folk. Well, make yourself at home. The food isn't ready yet, though. I think I'll be on my way, thanks. There's not much else to do in here. Alright. Let's come around this way. Ooh. Here's another running guy. Is that the same guy we saw before? I think he's just running around the whole village in circles. Yeah, it is the same guy. Alright. Let's take a look at what this sign in front of the well says. Dark, narrow, scary, well of 3 features. Well, that's really selling it. Alright, nothing really going on over here except a crate. Bust that crate and there's nothing. There's some other crates we're going to bust later, but I'll get to that in a bit. And up around here, now here's a sign here. Kakariko Village Graveyard. We're going to go there in just a little bit. We'll save that until we've explored this whole area adequately. Here's another guy running around. Looks a little bit different. Have you seen Mr. Dampe, who lives in the graveyard up ahead? It's 7 o'clock right now, so he's probably asleep in his hut. Why don't you go out onto the field and kill some time? So he's implying that he's only out during nighttime. Alright. Go in this door here. Question mark, like it doesn't actually know to say that this is the inside of a windmill. Look up there, there's what appears to be an out-of-reach piece of heart. That is, in fact, exactly what it is. And remember, the last piece of heart, too, we didn't check up on this, but see, now it's showing 3/4 of our heart icon here is now filled in. So as soon as that last quarter gets filled in, we'll boost our health up by 1 full heart. And we can run around and around and around and around in circles. And here's a guy, music player here. Let's talk to this guy. Go around and around and around. What fun, I'm so happy. I'm a music man who loves to go around and around. Go around and around. I'm sensing a theme here. I'm trying to come up with a musical theme inspired by this windmill. Going around and around and around. Okay, I get the picture. Alright, nothing else going on in here, though. Pretty catchy tune, though. Really gets stuck in your head after a while. Alright, let's come down this way. There's a building that appears to not even be finished. It's all just bricks and whatnot. And here's a guy running up here back and forth across these beams. If we jump across, we should be able to... Oops! Went a little bit too far. Got to be a little bit more careful with how much pressure I put on the stick there. Let's try this again. Ooh, okay, see, I thought I was going to have to grab on the ledge and pull myself up. So that's why I continue to hold forward on the stick, but instead I made the whole jump, and so I just walked off. Look at that poor girl over there. She works so hard taking care of her chickens, even though touching them gives her goosebumps. What a trooper. I would really like to help her. I've just been feeling so charitable these days. Don't you feel that way too? Sure. By the way, would you be interested in Amway? Alright, okay, let's check out this house. Oh, this is an interesting point of interest here as well. The House of Skulltula. We're going to have to remember this location. Try not to get too freaked out here, but... This guy comes down. What the hell? Holy cow. I knew the circus was in town, but this is the freak show. We all look like this because of the spider's curse. If every spider of the curse, meaning the gold Skulltulas, in the entire world were destroyed, the curse would be broken. When you destroy a spider of the curse, a token will appear, as we've outlined in previous episodes, collected as proof of your achievement, which we've been doing. And there it is, there's the icon. The number next to this icon on the quest status subscreen indicates how many spiders of the curse you have destroyed so far. Yes, we've been over that. When this icon is displayed next to the name of the area on the map subscreen, there are no more spiders in that area. Ah, that's good to know. That way it'll at least let you know that you don't have to keep looking in that area anymore. Look for them not only out in the open, but also inside the dungeons. Of course, this is just our dream. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, so this is a side quest. But it's a very useful one, and one that we're going to tackle. If you break the curse on my family, we will make you very rich. Ooh, that's good to know. And if you look around the edges of this house in here, which is about as creepy as it gets, in addition to that guy here, there's 5 other human Skulltulas. Or, well, they're not human, I guess they're Hylians. But, see this. Yarg! I'm cursed! Yes, you are. Yarg, I'm cursed, so they all say the same thing. So basically the idea is this. That as we kill more gold Skulltulas and collect their tokens, gradually, one by one, all of these Skulltula children will gradually become uncursed. And with every one that we manage to break the curse on, they'll give us a new gift. So, the first Skulltula child becomes uncursed after we get 10 tokens, then the next at 20, then 30, then 40, and then 50. But then after 50, the main head of the Skulltula house, I guess I'm presuming he's their father, he doesn't become uncursed until we have destroyed all 100 gold Skulltulas. I don't think I've said that, I've mentioned that before, but there are exactly 100 gold Skulltulas to be found throughout the entire world of Hyrule. Again, as he said, both out in the open and in dungeons. So, but once we manage to bring him back, he says he'll make us very rich, whatever that means. But trust me, the reward will most definitely be worth it. So anyway, that's something to keep in mind. For now, we don't have enough to uncurse any of them. I think we only have 6. Yeah, just the 6 for now. But this is going to be an area that we're going to be continuously coming back to for that reason. Alright, let's come up this way. Some more pots. We're all maxed out with our rupees, so we didn't really need to do that. But another guard here. This used to be the Great Impa's house, but she doesn't live here any longer. It is now open to all villagers. You are free to go on in. This village used to be a Shaika village, but the Great Impa opened it to everyone. Oh, that was nice of her. I suppose now that she's got room and board in the castle. Hey, buddy. Hey, kid, you always enter other people's houses without permission? Didn't your parents teach you any manners? Oh well, Did you see a lady behind this house? She's going through hard times. Oh well. If that lady asks you about chickens, you should listen to her. Half expected him to say, oh well again. Oh, look at that. He's got a little cow here in a cage, and they're keeping another piece of heart company, but we don't have a way of getting in there just yet either. Let's see if we can walk up here. But if we press C up to switch to an above view so we can actually get a better idea of what's going on up here. It doesn't look like there's anything going on in here either. Okay, let's get the heck out of Dodge. Okay. So we've gone in basically everywhere except for talking to the cuckoo lady, or the cuckoo lady. So let's do that now. What should I do? My cuckoos have all flown away. You little boy, please help me bring them back to this pen. So that's what this whole area, thing was leading up to. Was you may have noticed all the cuckoos all over the place. So there's 7 of them throughout the village, and we got to one by one pick them up, bring them back, and throw them over this fence here into this little pen here. And you're gonna want to do this for a pretty good reason, because she gives us a pretty useful gift. You're going to notice here too, at first it appears there's some areas where there are cuckoos located that we can't get to. So like there's one up on that ledge there, but we can't get to it because of this fence. And from across here, I don't think we can even jump that high, but well, we'll get back to it. But trust me when I just tell you, take my word for it, it's too far of a ledge for us to jump from. But what we can actually do is, while holding cuckoos, we can use them to our advantage. In that when we jump from a ledge, while holding them like this, while they're trying to get away from us. It's amazing how this thing even has any feathers left. We can actually jump slightly greater distances, and we can use that to get to, as I said, previously inaccessible areas, just like that. So, we'll throw that guy away there now, instead of just dropping him here, because again, otherwise we won't have been any, made really any progress. I'll have to do the whole thing over again. But, so there's 2. We'll go back for this guy now. And we're going to use him again to get to another previously inaccessible area. Over this fence over here. And we gotta angle this just right, kind of go right at the corner, and it should be just enough to pop up like that. And again, before we go down into this area here, we gotta throw this one back over. We can always come back to this door here. You don't want to go in here just yet while you're doing this mini game or this side quest, because by going into any door or leaving the area and coming back in, will reset all of the cuckoos back to their default location. So if I was to go into this door now, I would undo all the progress that I just made. Likewise with going down this hole, and I think all that's down there is a fairies fountain anyway. Or it might just be a little grotto where you sometimes see business scrubs. They're down there sometimes too. So we'll throw this cuckoo over there as well. And here there's a ladder that comes up the back way to that one house that we were in before, where there was just a guy in there and nothing else going on, and the guy was talking about how he was considering a life of crime. But anyway, and here's another cuckoo up here. So we'll grab this one now, and we can come all the way around the top level of the windmill, and then jump from this side, float all the way down here. Look at that, we actually landed right in the pen. And we'll come back this way now for the other 2 cuckoos that we threw over the fence from the other side. Put them in the pen, so that'll make 5. So there will still be 2 more missing. One of them we did already see. That was up on the top of the hill nearby where that soldier was guarding the gate. So we'll go and grab that one. And then the 7th one is hiding in a secret spot, which I will point out to you momentarily as soon as we're done with the 6th one, which is right up here. Alright. And float all the way down here. It's making for a nice little shortcut. And the 7th, the final one, is actually hiding in a crate. So if you're rolling with a crate and bust it out. Come on. Ah. Sometimes it can be hard to grab them while they're on the go. You gotta wait for them to stand still before you can actually get a hold of them. Okay, so that'll make all 7. So now if we talk to the Cuckoo Lady again... Thank you for finding my cuckoos. I have allergies, so I get goosebumps when I touch them. For helping me, I will give this to you. It's fine glass and should be useful. Please take good care of it. Huzzah! A second empty bottle. After you put something in this bottle, set it to see when you want to use the item inside. Alright. Excellent. Please don't tease my cuckoos. Okay. Probably referencing if you attack them. But just for now, I'm going to remove one and steal it for my purposes of re-exploring that area that we were in there before that we couldn't get to previously. All this is moot anyway, because again, as soon as you do anything, leave the area and come back in, all the cuckoos get reset anyway, so try not to feel too bad for her. But look, it looks like we can't even get in anyway. Granny's potion shop closed. Gone for field study. Please come again, Granny. Okay, we can maybe explore that hole while we're down here, though. See what's down here. Just a little area here. Oh, there's not even any business scrubs either. Just some grass that we can cut and a little chest. Probably just rupees. Yeah. We're all maxed out in our wallet again anyway, so nothing doing there. Alright, and we're already up that level, that ladder there, that took us up around the windmill. See it, the cuckoos are reset again. So how about we take this ladder? I think that we're going to have to just turn around again anyway, because the guy that's in that house, I think, blocks our path. Oh, it doesn't even let us in just yet. Who's there? What a bad kid trying to enter from the rear door. Such a bad kid. I have to tell you some juicy gossip. Ooh, this is unexpected. The boss carpenter has a son. He's the guy who sits under the tree every night. Don't tell the boss I told you that. Ooh. That is juicy gossip. Anyway. Alright, so we've explored basically everything there is in the village just for now. At least during the daytime. But we could do a couple of things here. First, what I want to do, actually, is we're going to check out the graveyard.